Okay, well, Marcus, thanks for
Yes.
being here. Congratulations on taking the company to a launch next week. And so my first question for you is, please describe NativeLink to everybody here.
It's a lot of things to a lot of people. For a lot of people here, it is remote execution and remote cache backend for Bazel, Pants, SBT, Buck2. Anyone that knows the remote build execution protocol can use it. And then a lot of companies use it in very interesting ways, as their simulation infrastructure. Some companies as a way to move around large objects, whether it be training data or model binaries themselves. And so it's a really efficient job orchestration, model execution framework as well. But a lot of people use it for remote execution backend if you use Bazel. So that's it.
So it's a remote execution system. We have a cloud that allows for parallelization, and there's caching. So it's sped up on all accounts and reduces compute. So pretty amazing.
It's also open source and permissively licensed forever. I think that's an important thing. I think there's a lot of business continuity risks with these proprietary systems. They don't have to innovate anymore. You don't know how things work. Long-term open source person. And faker out of giving the mic.
All right, we good? Okay.
Yeah, you can have it.
Okay, so why NativeLink now? Like, why now?
Okay, it's interesting. When people ask me why now, it's like, I've been working on this for 2 years. What do you mean now? Y'all are here now because people agreed to pay us money. And we can buy people food and Cosmos. No, I tried to make it, like, I'm very, very socially awkward. I think you probably recognize that. But, or maybe not, I don't know. Maybe you're awkward too.
Yeah.
But I try to keep a very close reminder of why I went down this path in the first place. Erica I actually know from high school, so she remembers that day. April 6th, 2008, I was in a car accident. I'll tell you more about my personal story, but I know that it wasn't an ordinary car accident, it's crazy. But I know that the future of technology is not LLMs. The future of technology is in the physical world. It's like manipulating objects and avoiding obstacles, automation of tasks and operations that you couldn't even imagine. It's accelerating drug discovery, helping to inculcate peace in the world. It's giving people like me, who you might not think of as a disabled person, the liberty to move around the world, or time and space, depending on how you think about it, and to give a lot of people freedoms that I think we all should have. The Waymos in San Francisco, that's the only company that can afford to build that technology. And it shouldn't be that way, and we're gonna ensure that it's not that way. We're here to build the future of AI. And I'm not saying there won't be LLMs, there might be a few. There's gonna be small ones too. Diffusion models, I'm paying attention. I spent a lot of the past long time, almost full decade, working on language models and word embeddings, and I maintain a few open source search engines. I'm involved with a few vector databases, so I'm with it. I'm just with the next wave with NativeLink. So here you go.
Beautiful. Will you talk a little bit more about the automation revolution?
This is a new technology wave, right? So there was a period where mainframes were appropriate, and they're still around. I mean, mainframes aren't going anywhere. We see that, and even in our business, because CIQ, the company behind Rocky Linux. Who here has heard of Rocky Linux? Okay, not bad. I guess it's San Francisco. So, it's the fastest growing Linux distribution of the past 20 years. Please don't sue me, IBM, for this story, but after IBM bought Red Hat, they probably looked at CentOS and were like, well, do we really need a community supported operating system that doesn't guarantee vendor lock-in, and it died. And so the CentOS founder created CIQ, and now there's Rocky Linux, and they have to run on mainframes. They have to run on ARM. They have to run on x86. They have to run on a variety of different form factors. But the tools for the technologies of yesteryear kind of get grandfathered in to the technologies of the subsequent wave of today and of the future. And they're really ill-suited for these workloads. A lot of people can't depend on Docker. A lot of people can't depend on Kubernetes. A lot of people can't depend on the JVM. They might still have the JVM as a part of their stack, but the systems that are orchestrating these actions, these tasks, and that are enabling people to go faster, they have to be reimagined because the use cases are changing. The complexity is growing. The surface area is an area that's very, very close to the metal. Well, and AI is very common to need direct hardware access. And Core ML gives you that if you're working on iOS or Mac OS, and that's great. It's a great abstraction. It still takes a long time to build that. You can use NativeLink. But a lot of people don't have those abstraction layers yet. And so we want to make it so that everybody can build advanced technologies on a variety of hardware, whether it's bespoke, custom, newly imagined, hard to access, hard to procure. And that's really what our goal is. Should I tell people why I'm doing this?
That was my next question. I want to talk more about the car accident.
Erica remembers because she went to my high school back in Detroit. We were not connected at this time. I was far away from her. She was far away from me. She's still far away from me, but she's on the team, so you're not that far. It was April 6th, 2008. And I was trying to turn left on to a highway. It was weird. It was like this country road turned into a highway. But on the right, there was like some trees obscuring. There were some hills. And people were flying because it's through the country. They're like, nobody's ever going to be turning left out of this country road when I'm flying down the highway. So I turned. Maybe I made a mistake. I probably did. Folks have told me that if you have a car accident, two people probably did something wrong because the laws are written such to prevent people or give people the opportunity to recover if someone else makes a mistake. In that accident, my car rolled over 3 times. My friend died instantly and was on my lap. I mean, I don't remember, I was in a coma. And I think I was fortunate because the medevac was able to get me to the hospital in 5 minutes, Ohio State Hospital. I went to Michigan, so you will never hear me say anything good about Ohio State before 2008, but I have to give them credit for being located in Columbus and having the support and the capabilities to bring me back. I had a very severe injury. I couldn't walk, couldn't talk. The reason why Erica heard about it is because they were playing it on the radio in Detroit and everybody was talking about it. And it's like, I didn't even know what a radio was for like 14 months after that. So my recovery has been great. And for my severity of injury, maybe I'm even the luckiest. I clearly can talk now. I couldn't talk then. And what I realized is that I had to figure out how to accelerate the technologies that could prevent this from happening, accelerate their development. I started off, as soon as I was able to, I was like, well, I saw a video of someone at Twitter. I think there's a lot of people here from Twitter or affiliated with Twitter. Saw some security researchers from Twitter hack into a car. So I was like, I have to build some IoT security. I built a product. That product's owned by a public company. I don't know what they're doing with it now. They don't know how it works. That's how this works, And then, but once I figured that out, then it's like, okay, now try to understand vector space better and prediction. And the only way to do that in production for many years, and maybe even a lot of ways today, recommendation systems are often powered by search engines too, was search engines. So I started working on real-time recommendation systems, first in cars, which is scary, still staying with the cars. Got to fix them. And then search engines for companies like Apple and Reddit and Lululemon and Costco through the pandemic. Tim was the chief architect of that product, and he left LucidWorks. That's where I worked with him, and then he went to Apple. But we scaled through the pandemic on Costco and r/Wall Street bets. Like, you have to imagine, this is a lot of inference. I mean, a lot of queries. And, but this is an important part of building intelligent systems, systems that can answer questions for you, systems that can reason, systems that can surface the relevant information exactly when you need it or before you know you need it. But then after so many years, there was a project I worked on at MongoDB with some folks, and I realized that AWS Lambda wasn't going to cut it, that Docker wasn't going to cut it, that, like, you know, I love Vercel, but you can't build an autonomous robotic system safely with Vercel, not yet, maybe in 20 years. And so I said, we have to build the tools and the infrastructure to make these systems economical. I was like an early Waymo user, I mean, like really early, like 2015. You know, I had a Roomba, and I was like, this is not good enough. Like, Roomba is not going to solve my problem. And then I look, I'm like, what tools is Roomba using? And Roomba's using like these proprietary, hard to use AWS RoboMaker. Okay, be honest. How many people here have heard of AWS RoboMaker? Okay, 2 people. It's not a very usable technology because you have to like know all these things that are specific to that platform. We have to build something open, and we need smarter people than me. So then I like tricked my buddy who built the self-driving infrastructure at Toyota Robotics and the industrial robotics infrastructure and introspection system at Google X, and Tim, who I mentioned again, who's our CTO. I tricked them both. Literally tricked them both. I mean, let me remind you, I tricked them both into leaving very lucrative lives and to work for nothing. You make the federal minimum wage. How does it feel, young man?
I'm taking a nice glass of wine right now.
Okay. Yeah. And so.
First in months.
Yeah. The origin story really culminated, though, when my sister came home from a deployment. I don't know if I can say on camera where she was. Not a great place for her to go, or any of you to go, frankly. And she had, not an awesome experience trying to help us stay free, but that was, I appreciate that. And I was just like, her job should have been done by a robot. She suffered from her assignment. She will for the rest of her life. And I know a lot of other people who are similar. And so if we can build the systems, if we can make it economical to build the systems of the future, then we're going to live in a much better world. Like, it doesn't have to be a vehicle. Vehicles, that's where we drop a lot of costs. But like, Airbnb can do a lot more, right? And if they're allowed to go faster, that could be good, I like to tell this story to technical crowds because I think people remember this. Who here has done any web development ever? Okay, a lot of people. All right, so do you remember, like 2011, maybe it was 10, maybe it was 9, around that time, someone wrote a blog post about Ajax. And Ajax was all the rage. Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. And so people were trying to build these interactive experiences where you could have asynchronous threads of execution. Things could be loading or waiting or coming back. Like, this is basically one of the many killers to ActionScript. It's like, no more ActionScript. That's very dangerous. But what people didn't do when they invented Ajax is make it usable. So people tried all kinds of things. They used like lots of console.logs or console.warns. They used like the alert, the window.alert, the browser object. Like, what is happening with the state of this application here and there? Well, my co-founder Blaze built the request interceptor and Chrome DevTools. Pretty much all of the network panel. And I'm like, Blaze, you democratized like these reactive web applications, interactive web applications for many, many people. Millions of developers. Like, I was mostly an embedded person. And then when that dropped, I started working on the dashboard in my startup. And then that's people like, oh, y'all hot. And so as a part of making this economical, we have to make this new technology economical. We have to make the tools better. They should be fun. They should be cool. They should come with free wine, free food, good vibes, and a comedian. So let's build technology. Let's build tools to help people build technology that helps them enjoy their lives longer. And like I said, that includes Airbnb. Like if Airbnb got the Vision Pro app and I'm just like checking out the bathroom before I book the place, even though it's instant book, like that could be interesting. I wear the Disability Rights of California Association lanyard everywhere, all the time. And like, you know how they say if it wasn't attached to you, you'd lose it? I got a lot of these lanyards because even when they're attached to me, I still lose my keys. So, but like donate to the Disability Rights Association of California when you get a chance.
Also, can you share what your phone background is?
Fine. That's private. It's fine.
I'm so sorry.
It's,
But I think it's very touching. And you never lose sight of the mission. I mean, you mentioned the lanyard.
yeah, I have a picture of myself in a coma. So like when I tell people I'm working on like a Bezo remote execution backend and it's free and it's in Rust and it's the fastest in the world and lowers your cost the most, it's like I'm not bullshitting. Like I'm gonna do this and like you can benefit from it. And like I'm not running toward like some SaaS company that everybody thinks is cool or some TechCrunch announcement. I mean, there will be some TechCrunch about us here and there, but it ain't about that for me. Like it's about that picture and it's about like we can build better technologies. We can live a long time, or you can live a short time and have a really good time, you know? Like this is not an act, this is not temporary. This is what I'm doing no matter what. And I've been building for the past decade towards this goal. Someone asked me if I'm a Bezo expert. I'm a developer infrastructure expert. And so Bezo is the first thing that sucks that we're gonna unsuck, and there's a bunch more.
Thank you. Okay, so now we know why NativeLink.
Yep.
Can you talk about what is the most exciting part of developing NativeLink on the day-to-day?
That's so easy. I don't even need a mic for that. It's my team. Like, we have a really good time. We do offsites a couple times a year. We did one in Western Europe. I think we'll invite our customers to our offsites in the future, or some of them, you know, so our team can get together and talk to them. Like, we really focus on and rally behind the challenges of the customers. I think you should enjoy your job. You can ask Harper if she enjoys her job working on NativeLink. She'll tell you.
Ask me.
Okay, I can ask you. Oh, she's the interviewer. But like, you should enjoy your job, and we want to make your job feel good. And so at our company, everybody's job, I'm a little prickly, and I'm like, we gotta go fast, We gotta work all the time. But like, it's not really like that, it's just me talking. I love everybody. It's like the best environment I've ever had. I surrounded myself with a lot of people to learn a lot from in a lot of different ways. That's definitely the best part. The people and the impact that the people have on the people that we serve and the society that we seek to improve. So that's it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The engineering standards are so high. We have an LLVM core contributor. We have a Rust maintainer. Tim was working on Series Kubernetes.
He's also a Solar maintainer, Lucene maintainer, right? Are those still alive?
Maintaining a lot, but sure.
I tried to land a diff.
Decade.
I tried to land a diff just, putting a link to my YouTube video explaining what NativeLink is. And Aaron, I don't even understand what happened there, but there's something about, can you explain what happened? It was amazing.
Yeah, like.
It was just like,
You're not alone.
the quality standards of engineering, I've never seen anything like it. Truly, I have never seen anything like it. So it's pretty amazing, the team that you've assembled.
Did anybody help you land that?
Marcus.
Yeah, that's the kind of company,
Blake.
like, I'm a servant.
Aaron, good little team.
I don't think the things that Aaron knows about compilers are in compilers. Or Blaze. Like, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that Blaze, like, they're working right now. Because if they stop working, the lights will go off in this city. Because you're like, the energy department is like, there's a bug, no pointer exception or something. I wasn't, sorry. The timing of that is a little rude. I forgot about, so, but yeah,
Let's go to a local now.
yeah, that's right. So, see, we're not serving watered down Cosmos. I'll tell you. It's the real thing. But what I would like to know is if this interview is over.
That was my final question. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Marcus. Enjoy the food and the drink. Get a Cosmo. Thanks everyone.